maybe a little more. I think that should last me for 2 days. You guessed right, I will be doing some traveling next week, and I would like to take with me the spindle that I made in the previous video and some silk. I'm thinking of starting this now so that I'm good to go once I'm traveling, and to show you guys the final result in better light. I got a bit carried away. I was just supposed to start this and then I just kept going, and it's such a joy to spin with this. It is. My only challenge now is trying to keep the fiber in my hand untangled. It is a bit hard, but it's practice. It's practice, I guess. Maybe I could benefit from like one of those ring distaffs. But let's just keep it simple. It's my skill level. I just have to learn how to spin with this. Anyway, I need to stop now because I have other things to do, but I thought I would show you the progress so far. It was a lot easier to start it today compared to that evening when I had first finished this. I guess I was tired and not having it anymore. It's super easy. I don't know what my problem was. This started up just fine and it looks great. Let's pack the rest of it. I've got my beautiful silk here. This should be enough for the whole trip. And I think I'll just put this in a very small Ziploc bag. And that was that. Keep it simple. Among the things I have to plan for is the restoration of my antique wheel. This is where I learned how to spin on a wheel. I got it about 2+ years ago, but this wheel is much older than that. I've spun quite a lot with it and I've made very beautiful yarn. The issue is that, of course, it has only one bobbin and we're missing the metal hooks along the flyer. And for an impatient person like myself, it's a real motivation killer when I have to unwind the yarn each time I'm done because there's only one bobbin. Now, I have tried to find similar sized bobbins in the hopes that I could just avoid this whole problem. I mean, I bought something like this. It's a beautiful bobbin, but it doesn't fit, of course. And then I found these and they do not fit either. So I stopped doing that. And then I thought, okay, then maybe I can do something with this whole section here and try to make something a bit more modern so that I can put the flyer from my Kromsky wheel onto here if I align it properly. But that is a lot of work because I would have to do this whole section from scratch. And I'm not an experienced woodworker. I feel like I would do more damage than good at this point. So it's been sitting here because of that. I have not used this wheel for quite a long time, and that has to stop. Now, when I was making my Turkish spindle, I realized that making some sections or some curved parts are not as difficult as I thought that they would be. And so I'm a bit encouraged, and I'm thinking that I will try to make a bobbin myself. Now the hardest part will be making a hole like this that's straight, but other than that, I feel like the whole thing can be accomplished. We do have a vertical drill in the workshop. I've never used it before. I'm sure I can learn how to use it, so I think I'll be able to make multiple test pieces and then pick the best one and then work from there. So that's what I'm going to do next. This project has been waiting for me. Let's have a look. Here is the flyer, and you see I've removed the hooks. They were all rusted, so I just took them off, and then there's some holders and then some leftovers that I didn't manage to take out. And then I've been using this tool here to slide my work, and I use a little wedge like this to hold it in place. It works. So I'm not too concerned with this at the moment, but I'm more interested in this now. I have this piece of oak here, and it's long enough and thick enough that I can make maybe 2 test batches and see which one comes out best. It may be that, of course, I won't be able to make the whole thing from one piece, but then I'll work these bottom parts separately using a piece like this. This used to be an old chair that we just broke into pieces, and the nice thing about this is that it kind of has like a curve already, and it's the correct thickness as well, so I can shave off little by little until I get something that looks like this. So I think I have a good plan. I will not be redoing this. There's nothing wrong with this. The only thing that perhaps at some point I'll have to look into is the threading inside. It is quite worn out, but it still works. So one thing at a time. I don't think I'll manage to work on this week, but at least I know that the project is moving along and there's some sense of direction here, because it's just been sitting there, my wheel, and I look at it every day and wonder, maybe I should just give it to somebody that can repair it. But no, that somebody is me. It's the weekend and I'm back from my work trip, and to shortly summarize that, it was a bit of a crafting fail. I did not have the time to spin anything, and this is basically where I'm at. They were very intense days. I'm quite used to traveling, so I know that it can be a little bit tiring, and coordinating everything they have to do takes time. But now I had been meeting so many new people and having very engaged discussions that at the end of the day, my brain was just, I think I was just trying to process everything, and I was very tired towards the end, and I just went to bed really early. It was like 8 p.m. right after dinner. I didn't even get a chance to explore the city. I just went to bed. And then the following day, I had to wake up really early and then catch the plane again, and that was that. So it was a bit of a miss. I was intending on filming the sights, but I didn't even get a chance to do any of that, because once I went to the hotel room, just went to sleep. So that was that. But to make up for it, I thought I would share with you what my next video will be about. And well, you guessed right, probably I really want to prioritize fixing my wheel, and if I succeed with making a bobbin for my antique wheel, then I might start working on the other antique wheel that I have, the one that's a bit more beat up. Put a picture of that here, or a video. Here it is. It's much smaller than my other working wheel behind there, and I think it's a lot older as well. It's very worn. The pedal has somebody's footprint on there, like it's molded to their foot. And the hole there, the metal is so thin. I'm not sure if it's focusing there. Yes, there. And the bobbin, that has seen better days. I've glued it together. Also the flyer, it's beat up, but it works. It's just, it needs some love and some cleaning and oiling probably. But this here, that's my focus for the following weeks. Other than that, I have been thinking that I would like to grow some dying plants this year, and so I bought some indigo seeds, and I believe the English name is madder, to make blue. But I'm not too hopeful because where I live, it's very cold and wet, and you can for sure get a frost during the summer, like June. I have seen times where it has snowed early June, so it's like your plants don't even have a chance unless you make or have a greenhouse. I don't, but I guess I should just make an attempt to cover my plants. But I will try this year. I will, because I'm curious. And then we'll see what we get. But sowing season, at least where I live, is starting quite soon. So I want to start prepping for that. Although I'm not very hopeful. So far I've mostly done the onion dyes, and then I have acid dyes. But this year I would like to explore more natural dyes. It's the next day and I've been spinning for about maximum 2 hours. It does not look like much because it's very fine, but yes, it takes quite a lot of time. I have to say I'm rather pleased with how this is going. Now I won't be spinning more of the silk on this. I just wanted to spin with what I had so that I could try out the spindle and then see if I would have to make any more adjustments. And then I also wanted to make the tiniest skein, like just to have a sample skein of all the fibers that I will be spinning from now on, so that I can just have a reference and maybe, you know, hang them as decoration here, like the tiniest amount. So that's what I'll be doing with this. But the rest of the silk that I have, I will be spinning on my wheel, and it's a lot of silk, quite a lot. As I said in a previous video, this was a graduation gift, so can't complain. I may end up mixing some of this with something else, but I would still like to do one full skein with just pure silk, enough that I could make a nice scarf or shawl or something like that. But for sure I want to make a large enough quantity of just the pure silk with my wheel, so that's that. But I can't give a true review of the spindle until I've actually applied this, so let's do that now. Alright, I've got it set up now, and I feel like this thing is on the verge of tangling on itself, but let's give it a go. If I can manage to coordinate myself here. Okay, applying this is proving to be harder than it should be, maybe. I feel like the shaft here is not completely secure, and then I don't get a very good spin. That was that. I did struggle a bit in the beginning, but it ended up working just fine. Let's make a little skein here. And here we are. I think it's come out quite nice for a test. And it's very soft and thick, and I think I want to aim for this with my wheel. That way I can do like a chunkier scarf. It will be a small scarf, but a bit fluffy and chunky. And there you have it. It is super soft. Not sure if it's focusing here. I'm quite happy with this. It looks great. So all in all, this was a win. I could retouch it a bit more from the inside here, but I'll leave it like that for now and use it for other fibers. There is one little nick here that I should probably round off, but it does not bother me. I think this works great. I might even go crazy one time and make another one, but this was nice. This was nice. And all in all, if I take out all of my spindles, this one's my favorite, and then second is this one. Let's hang this up. I've made a little label, and I have one of these bands here that I made a while back. Well, my plant here is living its own life. Let's see. And here we go. It will be nice later on to collect a few more skeins of everything I've done this year. But so far, that's the first batch. I just realized I can make a tiny skein from this leftover mohair on this spindle and then hang it there as well. I will do that later, but for now I'll wrap up this video. Thank you for watching.